Back in 2019, I was somewhat critical of Joker. I felt it had its flaws. It seemed politically confused, some characters came off as caricatures, despite the movie's aim to be grounded, and at times it felt a bit derivative. But with that being said, it undeniably resonated with many people who feel neglected by society and frustrated with the system. The Joker became a symbol for them, an avatar for their feelings, speaking to a forgotten class. It was one of the few recent movies to address how rude people have become, how few are civilized, empathetic, or care about outsiders. Overall, it was sad, cautionary, and somewhat touching. But Joker 2 flips all of that on its head. It undermines the connection established in the first film, attacking and vilifying anyone who related to Arthur. The sequel thrives on contempt, and feels like a cynical betrayal of its audience. It's not that writers need to cater to fans, but this movie actively insults its audience and tries to undo everything from the first movie. Joker 2 just retcons Joker. Arthur's character seems to regress as if the last act of Joker never even happened. If you're gonna start a story, build a world, and develop a character in a specific way, you need to commit to it. But Todd Phillips didn't like the backlash from some critics regarding Joker. He was uncomfortable with how many men empathized with Arthur, particularly white, disenfranchised males who saw themselves in him. The media labeled them as right-wing incels. As a result, he decided to take a sledgehammer to Arthur's character arc out of a desire to distance himself from it, to demoralize fans, to make a statement about the dangers of idolizing someone like Joker. The fact that it's a musical is honestly the least of its problems. The real issue is Phillips' disdain for the fans of the 2019 movie. While many want to blame Gaga, the responsibility ultimately falls on Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix. Gaga just did her job. She showed up and followed directions. But the idea to make it a musical actually came from Phoenix, and Phillips liked it enough to move forward with it.
The dream was not inspired the movie. The dream was just I had this dream that I was performing as Joker, doing songs, and I just called Todd because I thought there might be something there, and there wasn't. Thank you.
Well, yeah, it's something that Joaquin and I talked about all the time on the set of the first movie, was this idea that Arthur has music in him.
He underdeveloped Gaga's character, cut many of her scenes, and portrayed her as a manipulative, disloyal rich girl. He's also the one who decided to have Arthur raped, killed, and revealed as just another guy with main character syndrome. He's not even the Joker, but merely a deluded loser. So Phillips didn't have some moral hang-up. If he really wanted to rehabilitate the Joker character, he could have approached it in a more thoughtful and nuanced manner, rather than resorting to crude, mean-spirited tactics. A more appropriate exploration could have shown Arthur's potential for growth and redemption, or at least some understanding of how his circumstances shaped him. If he chose not to rehabilitate Arthur and instead continued his arc, he had the opportunity to show how Arthur's actions could lead to tragic outcomes. But rather than continuing a conversation about mental health and societal neglect and the human experience, Phillips just chose to punish the viewers for their empathy. The movie really was just a mess in every way. We don't learn anything new about Arthur. There's no interesting commentary, no entertaining back and forth dialogue during the courtroom scenes. The musical performances disrupt the story instead of using the songs to move it forward. Just nothing in this movie works or matters. And although I've been really negative, it's important though to really keep this in mind, that the goal is to ruin the experience you had watching the Joker. If Joker 2 diminishes your appreciation for the first movie, then they've succeeded. Because for them, demoralization matters more than the box office.
It's not about money. It's about something